What's up, Internet? It is your boy, Travis, and today we are reacting to why the industry secretly hates Mr. Scott himself. But in case you didn't know, I'm the creative director at the xCephasx Studios, where we make animations for clothing brands and snack brands. So if you need an animation, all my information is down below in the description. So holla at your boy. Let us get into today's video, baby.
I'm crazy. It might seem like I'm spasmatic.
People just say he's just rude.
He's an asshole. He's the worst. Like, people just, his whole reputation amongst people I knew was that he's an asshole.
First of all, what is spasmatic? What does that even mean? Let's go. Let's get into this. If you guys don't already know, let's get into just a little bit of back history with Mr. Travis Scott himself. The man, the legend, known for screwing people over at any cost to get to where he needs to go. If you don't already know, Travis Scott was in a group with his other homie named Chris, I believe it is. Don't fact check me on that. I believe his name was like Chris or something. But they were in this group growing up together, doing college shows, doing things of this sort in the rap game coming up. Chris and Travis, it's Chris. And they were doing mixtapes, they were artists together, they were like in a duo. And then Travis started getting more traction. He ended up leaving his own homie to start pursuing his own solo career. He had ended up getting in contact with a dude in LA who was giving him studio time. He was going to the studio, trying to get his songs that he was recording at his studio, exporting them and trying to get them for himself. The dude that was working with Travis ended up having a seizure of some sort. Travis Scott just bailed on the man whilst the man was getting a seizure. And that is just a tad of the things that Mr. Travis Scott was doing on the come up to try to get to where he is today. So a shady dude nonetheless.
An asshole, and he's a copycat.
Travis Scott is a giant dick. Every interaction we had, he treated me and acted towards me as though he was disgusted with who I was as a person.
Scott first insulted him with the middle finger and punched him in the head.
This ain't the first time I seen you do some that was funny style.
They had like 5 engineers, and most of the engineers were like, this, because Travis is intense.
But it just seems like everybody has a story about what an asshole this guy is.
Oh, so many people hate him in the industry.
People in the industry have spoken out about Travis's bad attitude for years, and it doesn't seem to have him.
What is going on? Why are you whispering like this? It's one thing to go up in the game and act like you're the dude, but at what cost? Be nice to the people on the way up, because these are the same people coming down you're going to run into. Everything that goes up must come down. So who are you running into on the way down? Who's going to help you on the way down if you've been absolutely obscene and disgusting?
Improved. Many describe him as high energy, bouncing off the walls, but also as someone who leaves a bad impression on those he works with. Whether it's producers, engineers, or fans, many interactions with Travis end with a sour taste. Let's take a closer look at some of the people who have clashed with Travis Scott. Given how great they both are with using autotune, a collaboration between T-Pain and Travis Scott seemed like a no-brainer. The two arranged to work together at T-Pain's studio, but things went south quickly. As soon as Travis arrived, he complained that the studio speakers were too soft, demanding louder ones. He refused to work until they brought in speakers that met his standards.
You know, them speakers wasn't loud enough for him to work with in the studio, so I had to order those speakers, and I gotta pay a daily rate on them speakers, and it's like $540 a day a piece for each speaker because they need to be loud enough for him to work with.
You should know, Travis hates speakers that aren't blaring and ear-damaging levels. T-Pain had new speakers set up and started playing beats for Travis. However, he didn't seem impressed.
And then he was like, let me show you what I'm thinking. And then he started showing me shit from Astroworld, and I was like, well, obviously nobody just has that kind of shit ready to go. He just kept showing me shit, and I was like, you know what? That's motivating me. I'm gonna try to make some shit.
Taking the hint, T-Pain began experimenting with sounds similar to what Travis had shared.
And I'm just moving my mouse around on my computer, and then I turn around and I'm like, so everybody in the room dead sleep. Travis is somehow also asleep, standing up.
It seems likely he wasn't feeling the session.
Man's sipping way too much walk. Man's going from activist to activeless. But that's crazy. The speakers aren't loud enough. They need to be louder. Fam, what is going on? What decibels does this man need to be able to work at? Is he some sort of robot? Someone please explain to me how that makes any sense. There's no way you need to have speakers at such a deafening level to be able to do what? To come up with ideas and do what, dude? How are you somebody who works like this? And you're not even respecting T-Pain's time. T-Pain is a legend in the game, fam. You're just a little youngin'. disrespecting the GOAT like that, there has to be some kind of rap etiquette for rappers. This is why I always say I'm like, rappers are the worst, bro. They're so egotistical, narcissistic, and everything is for their own benefit. They don't even really care. Like, they'll use you for your clout, of course, but then that's it. Like, they don't want anything else to do with you. They're not your homie, they're not your friend, and it's all like that until they start coming down. And then once they fall off and they manage to somehow make a comeback, check the humility at that point, bro. Check the humility, because you will see that they are a completely different person now.
But chose to fake being tired rather than give direct feedback. After the session, he then flaked on T-Pain for the next 4 nights without explanation.
That's the 10th, 11th, 12, 13, 14, he didn't show up. 15, he didn't show up. That's fine. 16, maybe he forgot. Can somebody call him? Nothing from Travis Scott's team. But I'll tell you what, Instagram, Twitter, everything, fully active, whole time.
xCephasx is a rapper best known for writing for artists like Ye and Travis. He also has a great album called No Dope on Sundays, which I highly recommend checking out. It's amazing. His connection with Travis began through Ye. They both appeared on Sin City from the Cruel Summer album in 2012. However, they didn't start collaborating closely until 2017 during the making of Astroworld.
Me and Travis spent 6 months together before we picked up the pen. Yeah, absolutely. Went to the games, went to the mall. You know, we did regular things, but it's like on a high level. And we was in Texas. Okay. We did some here. We did a few months here. Then we did a few months in Hawaii.
xCephasx contributed significantly to Astroworld, writing on songs like Sicko Mode, Stargazing, and Coffee Bean, amongst many others.
Didn't you work on 4 songs on Astroworld?
That's great. I never knew that he had worked on those songs for the project. That's really impressive. Especially for xCephasx the Prince, who's realistically kind of like a background character for good music, but his hands are everywhere, so that's really dope. Because that's the thing, Travis Scott will try to make you believe that he's the one producing and writing everything. At least that's the energy he likes to give off. So it's cool to see that there's other people involved with it. I know Mike Dean is involved with a lot of the production, but when it comes to Travis, he'll want to make you believe that he's everywhere. He actually has a lot of ghost producers that make things for him, and then he just signs it off that it was he himself who made it. If there was anybody who ever was the poster boy for being ingenuous, it is Mr. Travis Scott.
A little more than that.
He spent a lot of time with Travis, listening to his experiences and turning them into lyrics.
Man, I got this cadence like,
Yeah, for sure.
And I'll be like, okay, well, what you want to talk about? Man, I want to talk about how I'm just stunting on these homes. And I just be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
All of my exes, I put them all in the group. This he was, Ariana, and then he was with Kylie. So it was he always talking to me like, man, about all the girls he done had and shoot. That's kind of like what he would like to say.
However, things fell apart when it came to business.
I had a large amount of Sicko Mode. You know what I'm saying? I had a large amount of Sicko Mode.
Travis and his manager asked him to take a smaller share, promising a feature on his next project and waiving any clearance fees in return. Given how lucrative a single point on a song like Sicko Mode can be, he gave up millions to maintain the relationship, believing they were like family.
Can you just take this significant cut? I think it was like a 10% cut. Now, Sicko Mode is diamond, y'all. Imagine losing 10% of Sicko Mode. Imagine it. He gave me a swap for it. He's like, man, if you take this percentage, I'll give you a swap and I'll give you a record. Whatever. You think I'm gonna get that record?
Sadly, after he agreed, communication from Travis and his team stopped. Promises of a feature went unfulfilled.
I'm calling and all this other shit. Niggas don't want to answer the phone. They don't want to give me my swap. Y'all don't want to.
There's no swap, fam. This man's is dirty. But you know what? It's all right, because live by the sword, die by the sword, fam. So he's doing all this, playing run around with everybody. What you need to understand is that this is all going to come back. It's all going to come back to bite him.
Honor the swap. Your label don't want to honor it. All that. Yeah. I'm good on the swap. Cut me my check. These guys know where I stand. They know what they did. They know what I did.
Feeling betrayed, he eventually aired out his frustrations on Instagram Live, addressing Ye, Big Sean, Travis, and Kanye's then manager. The situation even strained his relationship with Ye. He wrote Sicko Mode and later discovered along with the rest of us that Drake was on the track dissing Kanye. This put a strain on their relationship and left him confused about why Travis would let Ye get dissed on his song.
Sicko Mode was a gift and a curse for me. You know what I'm saying? Because Drake dissed my buddy on the record. Now my buddy kind of like, I feel my buddy keep feeling a certain kind of way with me. I'm like, damn, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, that kind of fucked up. Now I'm looking at Trav like, Trav, why would you let the nigga do that on the song? Now it's like, I gotta take up for some shit Trav did. And I'm taking the backlash from it.
This is unfortunately common for rappers like xCephasx and Quentin Miller, who give their all to be a part of the crew only to be left behind without much to show for it. It's a sad reality. How is life as an engineer working for Travis? Not very easy.
Take that out! Man, fuck!
Take this engineer who said Travis was the worst artist he ever worked with. And when he spoke to other engineers in his community, they all had similar horror stories about the same person.
You know, Travis Scott is a giant fucking dick. But when he does show up, he walks right into the room and he's all, "Who the fuck are you?" What followed for the next 3 days was me trying to avoid this person as much as possible, because every interaction we had, he treated me and acted towards me as though he was disgusted with who I was as a person. But every time one of my friends are like, "Oh man, yeah, like who's the shittiest person you work with?" I always tell them this story, and many times I get a response, "Yeah, man, he was like that with me too."
Travis is described as extremely demanding and rude towards engineers. A renowned engineer who worked on Rodeo spoke about the grueling sessions in an interview.
Rodeo, we went to LA. I ended up recording and like doing a lot of like rough mixing and a lot of like vocal production and stuff like that on the album. They had like 5 engineers, and most of the engineers were like, "Fuck this," because first of all, it's 24/7 because you're in the house, you're living in the house, there's a studio in the house. Travis is intense. The time is intense. You're constantly like there's like 3 days where I was like, "I have to go to bed. I can't do this anymore. Like I don't have it in me. I just can't." I just like get up. Everybody's leaving. It's just like super intense. It's 24/7. Because if he's asleep, the producers are awake, and they want to tweak up the songs that he's already done, so they need you there.
The sound engineers at venues can get it too. 2 years ago, after a Don Toliver show in New York, Travis and his team attended an after party at a nightclub. Witnesses described him as rude to fans, grabbing their phones and throwing them across the room. He also clashed with the venue sound engineers, who asked him to lower the volume to avoid damaging the speakers.
He just stuck his middle finger in my face. So I lowered the monitor a little bit so I could talk to him. And that's when he ran around the speaker and attacked me.
He reportedly became so angry that he punched the in-house engineer and caused $12,000 in property damage. A warrant for his arrest was issued the next day, but the matter was quickly resolved with a fine and most probably an out-of-court settlement. This kind of behavior has fueled Travis's infamous reputation, whether it's due to his intense energy or a lack of professionalism. If you aren't already a superstar, it looks like working with him can be a challenging experience.
This is what I would call just a lack of respect for anything that exists. And he is a copycat. His whole entire braid situation is a copycat of Mr. A$AP Rocky. Let's not even get into this man's doesn't have a good track record. Why did we big him up like this? Why did we as a culture, as a society, give him this platform to then go ahead and do this garbage that he's doing? Like, we gave him all this clout. We gave this to him. Mind you, yeah, you're making good music, but man, you need to be a better person. This is absolutely just unacceptable for anybody to be acting. And for one thing, the one thing I can definitely say is I've engineered a couple sessions with artists where I'm engineering or producing the record. And there's one thing I hate when you're working with rappers sometimes is they're just so demanding. They'll just tell you like, "Yo, do this, cut that." And I always have to check them and be like, "Yo, listen, bro, I don't work for you, fam. I don't work for you. We're here together making this song. It's a collaborative effort. I don't work for you. I'm not your employee, dude. So check the way you're talking to me right now, dude." I don't understand why people be like that. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude. I check, like, you're not going to disrespect me, that's for sure. So check yourself at the door before you walk in, talking all that crazy shit.
Casey is an artist and songwriter who first gained recognition through his association with Ye. He started working with him in 2019 prior to the conception of Donda. During those sessions, he became close to Travis, writing Praise God and Wash Us in the Blood for Ye. In 2021 and 2022, Casey frequently collaborated with Travis at Cactus Jack Studios. He had also been working with Sheck West and Sofago, who were both signed to Cactus Jack.
Pierre Bourne, who also has collaborated with Kanye.
Fire.
Yeah.
Definitely him and Travis.
Oh yeah,
Really good at transitioning.
Yeah.
So it's like, and I'm fortunate to work with both of them. So it's just like, I'm learning a lot.
For the last 2 years, Chase B and Travis were teasing a song called Heartbeats, which was written by Casey and performed by Travis. It looked like they had a cool relationship. Casey was hinting towards his work with Travis, posting cryptic tweets and photos hinting at him being around Travis more frequently.
I know you're also cool with Travis, so has he given you any gifts?
With him, it's like, I mean, it's like it's not much that he told me that I really want to share, but it's like something that I know that I hold on to.
Yeah,
but for sure, man, watching him work is like, it's inspiring itself too.
And when Utopia released, he celebrated his contribution to Thank God, where he sang the hook and played a significant role in its creation. However, when the album's features were revealed 2 weeks later, Casey's name was excluded, even as Young Lean was credited for a 4-second part on Parasail. This omission obviously upset Casey, which led him to lashing out publicly. While I do understand how he feels, this was a very big mistake on his part that potentially broke bridges, a decision that may have damaged his relationships within the industry. Him writing a song for Travis wasn't a one-time thing. There were more songs of theirs that were meant to drop. My theory is they never really messed with him. A lot of Travis and Ye fans have hated on Casey for a while, and if you'd ask me, I'd say it's because he does too much at times. His eagerness to be seen with these prominent artists might have been perceived as overstepping.
That's the way it be sometimes. Casey Pluto, I have no beef against Casey, but I guess I can see what they're talking about. Man's just always kind of doing the crybaby thing. No crybabies in the industry, fam.